Well, from I think noon of the first day, many people reported that they have been happy getting up later. So, and the big thank you in this part goes again to the FEM Ilmenau group. They're sitting over there. Have a look to them, the group. You see them? Hello, here you there. I think they almost didn't leave that room, but it's probably the best site you can have here at the Congress. There was some help of the CCC Ulm this time as well to do the streaming stuff, so this is going to be even closer collaboration in the future as well. So there was, yes. I want to note that the company Maintech provided us with the DVB-T streaming this time. I'm not sure who made use of that, but it worked. And I hope we can repeat this at the camp. There's, much use to it. Comments? No. So, yeah, that's it. So as I said before, videos are mostly done, and we're going to release it soon. Yeah, another strong factor of the Congress every time, all hail the POC, the Phone Operations Center. Everybody knows they're doing the DECT phone network, and it's working so flawless every time. It's unbelievable. There's never an issue. What not everybody knows is they're doing this Congress TV system as well. So all the big TVs where you're looking at the lectures and see the upcoming events listed, this is also done by them. So yeah, it has been such a successful project that getting phones and going to the Congress is, business as usual. And not only in our community, as it seems, but also at the Saturn electronics store over there. Yeah, the good part is coming now. Yeah, there have been wonderful reports. First of all, they have established something like I could also only call a Chaos Angel priority queue, because if you have an Angel badge, they let you go first if there's a long queue right now. Yeah? Excellent. And there's quality consulting right now. Somebody tried to buy just one of the phones and they already grabbed it, and then somebody says oh, you're probably at the Congress over there, right? Then you have to get this phone because this doesn't support all the necessary features. So talking about the POC, we also have to talk about the NOC, the Network Operations Center. Yeah, sometimes there are problems, and you need a special patch to fix it. And last year the NOC was totally disappointing because everything worked from the start till the end. Nothing special. But this time we ran into some problems you might have noticed. So what's the reason? One of the reasons is that we had some problems due to, well, let's call it some kind of renegade sponsor who sort of decided to go away for some reasons. So this caused a lot of problems because we needed to get huge equipment. And so there was a lot of private initiative. Many people went out and looked for whatever was available. So this time it was much more patchwork than it used to be. And the problem was that this sort of created a single point of failure, which was the core routing system. And, Central Solutions. This machine was called Central Services. And after, the errors occurred and so many people had problems, and it was totally unclear what the reason for this was. It was just failure coming up. We found out that this machine had an unknown internal limitation. Unknown. Because it was not really on the data sheets. And best of all, it was also totally unknown to the manufacturer as well. So, but this is a good thing about this Congress, because then, you know, people are being called on the phone, long sessions. I think quite a few people have been called in the middle of the night, and there were weird debugging sessions going on until they finally found out what this limitation was. And sadly, that this limitation couldn't be removed in time. So they found some workarounds, you know, this I don't have, but I can insert this. And so in the end, the network was pretty stable again, due to the great work of the NOC. So, thank you as well. But the limitation. Sorry? What was the limitation? What was the limitation? It's very technical, but it's like, are you technical people? I'm going to make too many mistakes. But it's basically about kicking out. Sorry? Alex, go ahead.
A maximum of 4,096 entries in the next hop table.
Okay, it was a maximum.
2,000 addresses configured on all the interfaces.
Okay, the system basically only saw 4,096 computers, and there were definitely more than 4,096 computers on this event. Talking IP. Okay. But what is the good news about this? The good news is we have to go out to sponsors and tell them, get your stuff fixed at Chaos Communication Congress, because this is where you can find your limitations. So, more boring numbers, traffic doubled. So it was mainly outbound, so the content here must have been interesting to the outside world. In part streaming, but probably something else as well. And a gigabit inbound. So our call for more usage of bandwidth was sort of heard. More numbers. We had huge links internally, so the network internally was pretty fast. The core router could handle like 5 gigabits. Am I still right, Alex? Okay. And yeah, so there were around 2,500 total network users, which is quite a lot, especially because there were 1,600 wireless users, which is insane. But from what I know, it worked, apart from the other routing problem, which was not related to wireless. Some people might have seen like, oh, wireless is not working again, you know, the usual stuff. But this time it was only related to the central single point of failure, and the wireless just worked. So, who to thank? Who to thank you for the internet connection. We have KPN, Eurorings, Cogent Communication, been supporting us for a long time. Versatel, again, especially with the direct connection to the building, and de-hosting. They all gave us tons of bandwidth to use, and Aruba Networks is behind this well-working wireless network. So. So, and this is what the press is waiting for. You know. We deliver. But there's not so much to tell. So we had, again, this hackers ethics hotline, which is not that popular. We had a single request. And this time was concerning an internal server. Oh! Frank knows more. I put this on. Can we switch this on? Okay.
Okay, so the
Correct me.
ESIC hotline had actually more requests. One was concerning actually...
Come up.
I'm standing here, it's okay.
Okay, stand.
One was an internal server that contained, let's say, questionable content. We took it down rather quickly. And the second noteworthy request concerned a rather serious hole in a large-scale widespread system in Germany that we're going to follow up. So somebody came to us and told us that there is a really wide-gapping hole in a very critical system that we are following up currently. And so that should be public within the next 30 days.
Okay, one more. Good. So let's see if I'm going to be corrected on the next one as well, which is the abuse phone. You know, that's the line what people call when they're scared. Hackers. So, not so many scared. Actually, there was only one scared ISP. And he was scared because we exist, and he demanded that we just block the entire network completely before the event. Yeah, it seemed all the other ISPs were a bit more relaxed, but then there was one scared user as well who wanted to have his IP blocked as well. Single one. We did it. No problem. Yeah. Well, and then there have been the usual stuff of, you know, minor hacks. I haven't really looked through the list. There's a list on the wiki, as usual, but nothing noteworthy. And I must say thank you, because this is good. You know, even here we can't prevent the authorities to use their authority, so it's always good. But at least there was no official police activities at the event. So, we don't know. Yes, I'm going to be quick. So, what's next? As you might already know, but I'm going to point you to this as well, is once we're done here, and we're done soon, there's going to be the after-hour party at Seabase. So if you still have the time to hang around with everybody, best idea is just to go over to the Seabase. The Avid team is already waiting for us. So when you leave here, now after we're finished, you can directly move over to Seabase and continue to consume nothing. It's free. And of course there's Club Mate, Internet, and the other drugs. Yeah, for those who don't know, it's just mainly down the road over the river to the left, and you will find it, and most of the people know here as well. There are more parties in the coming days for those who stay longer. There's a parties page in the public wiki, so you can consult this. On your way out, last minute activities. So right now at 8, shutdown starts, so we're collecting all the stuff, and we ask you to collect all your stuff as well, and we want everybody to be out at 10. So the Hack Center has to be down then, and the crew's coming and taking all the stuff. If you have uploaded anything like photos and video, then tag it, please. And if you, especially photographs, please attach a license, because press always very interested what they can use and what they can't. Same goes for us for documentation purposes. So make sure that you have a proper license attached. I wanted to point you to like the proceedings for those who haven't really noticed that this is available, but I just heard that the shop has already closed, but there might be a chance to get one. We're going to publish this on our blog. And yeah, same story, stores closed. So I think there's some Sputniks left. Talk to Milos. Where is he? No Sputniks left? Okay, outdated information. Yes, and we also like you to provide feedback to the lectures. You know, in the Fahrplan, in the schedule, there's a link on each of the lectures that you might have visited. Click on it. So, and What's coming?